This is Valley of Tears from MMP Games. This is the situation at the end of the 7th day on the Golan. The much awaited Israeli offensive on the Golan has finally got going. It didn't make particularly much ground up north. It did a lot worse than it expected. It's difficult to get through. There's a lot of defending units in those areas that needed to be punched out, but armour has basically managed to do a lot of damage to the supporting armoured units for the Syrians. With the main area of progress has been down south, where pretty much the 9th Infantry and the 5th Infantry are very close to collapse. They've lost the support now. They were lucky that this one here, this 210th Division, didn't get a secondary activation. Otherwise things could have got very nasty. The big problem the Syrians have had is a lot of the units they've got a reasonable amount of fatigue, and they've got snafu -2 due to interdiction by the Israeli Air Force. That combined with some terrible rolls, so like this Iraqi armour division couldn't even get moving because it failed both its rolls. Admittedly, an Israeli unit failed both its rolls as well. So there's been some. What I mean by rolls, I mean snafu rolls. There's been some really poor dice rolling by both sides in this particular turn. But the fact that the Syrian army's been pretty much immobilised, it's had to take recoveries instead of these failures for two divisions, and it's been unable to coordinate any sort of counter-attack, and the best it's managed to do is just sort of fill in the holes slightly in the front. So it's not looking good for the Syrians, but there's still a lot of units on the board, and the Israelis have got their work cut out, because not only have you got to get past some of this rough terrain, you've got that anti-tank ditch. I'm going to have to check that, because I can't see how this anti-tank ditch can still be such a major obstacle, because people will have filled it in by now. The Syrians would have filled in a lot of the ditch when they advanced across it. I'll have to see if there's a special rule for that. Anyway, things are picking up, looking more favourable to Israel, but the clock is ticking. There's not that many turns before international pressure for a ceasefire starts to apply.